Hey, everybody, welcome to Writing Sprint Thursdays. And I am your host, Hank Garner, as I am every Thursday. Today, excuse me, my buddy Chris Porto is joining me to sprint through this next, I don't know, roughly hour and a half or so. We're going to do these 20-minute sprints. Thanks to everyone who's in the chat, who came early and, getting everybody hyped up. We got a few new faces, specifically Sander. I know we explained in the chat exactly what we'll do here, but writing sprints are where we meet normally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time, 12:30 Eastern Time. And we write together as a group, 20-minute sprints, 3 of them. And when you use the wordsprints.org site, your words are all counted together. None of your words go anywhere. They stay uh, resident here. They're not transferred anywhere. But we get a running total of what we write as a group, and it's just fun. And then at the end of the sprint, you copy out those words into your favorite word processor. We hope you're using Dabble. And we just we here to motivate each other into, a little camaraderie always helps. Chris, how are you today, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. We are in the midst of our 60-day novel writing challenge, and I just wanted to click over here. As of today, I am at 52,333 words in my novel Murder Town. And so today I'm not sprinting so much as I'm taking some time to look at the words I've written, compare them with the plan that I had laid out ahead of time, see how vastly different they are, and start course correcting for the second for the back half of the novel. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
kind of
it's a
what
little
I'll
bit like it's a little bit like directing a sailing ship on the ocean, right? And you've
exactly.
got the plan, and you're going along pretty good, and then suddenly some winds come up from a direction you hadn't planned for, and so
Yep.
you got to tack that sucker to get back on course. So
Yeah.
that's one way to think about it.
Well, and I like to say that I'm a recovering pantser. I like to think that people exist on a continuum between pantser and plotter. No one is
Sure.
all the way in one camp or another, but we live on that line somewhere. And I'm a little to the left of center, toward the pantser side, and so I'll use my planning time to kind of untie the knots in my mind of the story, and then write it, and then about halfway through, I like to check up, see where I am, see what course corrections I need to take. And so I'm going to be working in my Dabble project a good bit today and reconstructing my plot grid. And we'll see how that goes. But
That sounds good. Hey, it looks like there's a request to maybe reshare the link or whatever
oh,
it is
yeah.
you
Yeah.
share at the
Hold on.
very.
Let me do that real quick. Here is the sprint number 1. I'm going to paste that into the chat here. Uh, and then the link underneath where it says Dabble's Writing Sprints number 1. When you click that, that should take you straight over to sprint number 2 when the time comes. I'll post that link as well because sometimes I mess the link up, and that's
Wah,
just it. But
wah,
wah
the internet.
wah. Yeah. So how's your editing of book number 2?
Well, it's funny that you invited me to be on today because I just got a second round of it. I reconciled David Gatewood's edits on book 2 for Mercenaries of Atlantis. Sent those back to him 10 days ago, something like that. He sent them back
Yeah.
to me yesterday. So now I get to go through and hopefully look at Mercifully Clean for the most part next. But there's still some outstanding issues. He's a really good editor, and he had me rewrite a couple of those last chapters. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but
Oh,
or any of the folks, but go ahead.
no, I was just going to say I've worked with David Gatewood before, and his edits are so insightful and so
Hmm.
precise, but he has a
Hmm.
way of delivering that to you that just kind of strokes your ego a little bit, and like he can say,
or
"Man,
totally inflates it because he
yeah,
has a wicked sense of humor,
he
right?
does,
For
he
people
does."
that haven't worked with him, and so yeah, he's like, "You're the best in a small crowd," you know. So anyway, yeah. But so
All
I'm
right.
going to be working on the second round of those. And before we're done
Perfect.
today, I want to talk to people about Crossroad Blues.
Ooh. Oh, okay. All
I
right.
want to make sure people know you got a newbie out there.
I appreciate it. All right, folks, 20 minutes in, we're going to check up after the end of this, and I'm dragging my Dabble project over to work on my plot grid while we're talking. We'll see you in 20 minutes. All right, everybody. That's the end of sprint number one. Make sure you copy your words and paste them over in the next sprint. If you would like to, I'm going to post and I'm confusing myself by seeing too many copies of the same thing. Here's the link to sprint number two. As we always do, we like to post our numbers after the fact, just so in a show of solidarity. Like I said earlier, am working on my plot grid, and so just kind of rearranging some scenes that I'm working on and making sure that my uh, points of view match up, and making some adjustments there and such. How's it going, Chris?
I'm just typing an update.
Yeah.
So I reconciled about 5.5 chapters
Nice.
of, but it's the second round. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's not too much, and it's early in the novel. Later in the novel, it'll take a little bit longer.
Fun. Fun.
It was
Well, let's check
cleaner up
in.
front.
Let's see. Emily got 100 something. Michael 509. Meg 478. Susan 254. The Jeff Jen. Jen got 442. Chris reconciled 5.5 chapters. Let's see. Francesca, I'm sorry. I'm looking at a monitor that's very far away and my old man eyes are squinting. 703. Kazoo status 324. Doug says, I'd love to know what Mercenaries of Atlantis is about because that's a great title. Well, Doug, if you would look at our very own YouTube channel at the show that Chris and Nick Cole and I did a couple months ago, Chris, where we talked
Yeah, something like
specifically
that.
about
Maybe
Mercenaries
6 weeks.
of Atlantis.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's way fun book. And I have to tell you, Doug, I don't always say this, but if you have to choose between the physical copy and the audiobook, go audio. It's just that good. It's
Yeah,
so
the
good.
performer's awesome. Yeah,
So
it's
good.
such a great job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's and I've read it and listened to it, and both amazing. The audio
right.
performance, so good, so good. Um, and be sure to join us right as we finish sprints. We're having our weekly 60-day challenge Q&A show where me and Doug and Abby and is Doug is Robert joining us today? I kind of feel like that he might be. So it'll be the four of us tackling your questions live, and we're going to talk about how you're doing in the challenge, how your story's coming along, and answer any questions you might have. So a lot of fun. Anyway, if I
Do
didn't,
we have a couple of seconds to talk about
we've got it.
Crossroad
We've got
Blues?
2 minutes before the
Could we
next
do
sprint.
that? All right. So, Hank, tell us all about your new book that's out there on Amazon called Crossroad Blues.
So Crossroad Blues is the book that I wrote last November for our 60-day novel challenge, and it I had the idea of because a lot of good books come from what if questions, and
Uh-huh.
I'm from Mississippi, and we have these
That's
legends
okay.
of
That's all right. That's
yeah,
okay.
I know, but the legendary crossroads at Highway 61 and whatever else whatever the other highway is. And
Are we talking Robert Johnson lore here?
yes,
Is that
yes, Robert Johnson Lord, that
make a deal with
those
the devil?
crossroads. And so I thought, what if you made a deal with the devil where you sold your soul and then you regretted the decision and you wanted your soul back? So
Uh-huh.
the story is about a character that I actually dreamed up 10 years ago named Buddy Deadweiler, and I never could figure out where Buddy fit in. And then I had a dream or something, and I dreamed that Buddy had terminal cancer, and someone that he worked with told him about the crossroads where you could make a deal. And so he made a deal with the devil to extend his life in exchange for his soul, but then the devil didn't tell him until after the fact that the way that he had to pay for it was to bring other people to the crossroads and sacrifice them in exchange for him extending his life.
Okay. Can I just point out? Can I just point
Yes.
out to all the folks that are sprinting? This
Yeah.
is why you read every author contract. Don't. Oh my God! They want my story. I'm going to get $50. Sign. Read the damn contract.
So yeah, it's that. It's someone sells his soul to the devil, then realizes that it's more than just his life he's putting on the line, but he's putting other people on the line, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden that becomes a regret, and then the story is about him trying to undo that
That's
deal.
a really interesting dynamic that you're exploring because he sold his soul, but clearly not his conscience.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
Exactly. And it's it kind of plays with the idea that I'll give my life up, but I'm not willing to give your life up. And so
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm playing with there. And it was
that's
a lot of
very
fun.
cool.
Yeah. So
That's very cool.
anyway,
I have to admit, 100% transparency. I've only read a little bit of it, but the
yeah,
writing, I read writers not just for, in fact, more and more these days, not really for the story because I read a bunch of different genres.
yeah,
I read writers that I love to read because I'm absorbing osmotically the craft.
yeah.
I just admire what they're doing, and that's a really really well written book. So
Thank you.
I could
I
recommend
appreciate
it to everybody on this stream. If you want to read some real, I'm not trying to sell the book. I'm just trying to say it's well written, and I personally learn a lot from reading good authors. And you're a good writer, so
I
there
appreciate
you go.
that. I appreciate that. All right, sprint number 2 is underway. We'll see you in 18 and a half minutes, and we'll catch up after that. And that's sprint number 2 in the books. Chris, did you get 6 more chapters reconciled?
More like one and a half. The, the
Okay.
the the comments are starting. The second round comments are starting to thicken up a little bit. So slowly.
Gotcha. I just posted a link to sprint number 3. How'd everybody do? I see numbers scrolling in. Manny with 425, Athena with 412. Erica says first sprint in a while, got 380. Congratulations. Sander with 553. Amazing. And Doug says I'm slow today. It's probably, are you as slow as Canadian molasses or no? What do you guys have? I don't know. It's some Marcella 310, Beth 571, Michael 413, AR 285, Natty 487. Hey Sam, good to see you. 361, Emily 520, Bond 415, Renee 524, Nikana 315, TW 329. Take a deep breath. Hello, Abby. I slid in a little late, got 367. Congratulations. Um, so, uh, what's your time frame looking like for this edit process on book 2, Chris?
If I hmm, probably another 2 or 3 weeks because I can only take little snippets of it every day. I can't just sit down for 2 days and knock it all out. So you know, got
Yeah,
multiple juggling multiple things.
yeah. No, nobody needs that kind of negativity in their life full time, right?
That's where my ego can only take so much editing.
Right. Oh man. So this is book 2. You're going through the editing now. You told me earlier that it's probably early summer of 2026. Looking at a pub date, late spring, early
Yeah,
summer.
yeah, that sounds about. I mean, really, it's going to be tied to the narrator's schedule because they like to do simultaneous releases. So I'm
Right.
sure that we'll have this all wrapped up by Christmas, me and Gatewood, and then it'll be sent to Audible, and they'll start their process. So yeah, maybe
So
early summer. If I'm lucky.
so what are you going to be working on in the meantime? Because
Book
I
three.
know you got to be dabbling a little bit in something. Book 3.
Yeah, no, I've got to start sketching out book three. I mean, I haven't even started that process.
Yeah.
I'm a real slow, I'm not, By the way, can I make a recommendation to everybody in this
Absolutely.
stream? There is, I will go out and find I won't bother with it right this second, but I will find at the end the link. There is
Yeah.
a podcast called the Huberman Lab. I don't know if you listen to this or
I,
not.
I've heard of it. I've caught snippets, but
Very, very, very informative, very interesting podcast on everything you could possibly think of. Well, a few weeks ago, Huberman is the name of the guy who runs the lab and hosts the podcast. Andrew Huberman. He he interviewed Stephen Pressfield. I assume you know
okay.
who that is.
Yeah.
He wrote Gates of Fire about Thermopylae and the Spartans. He also wrote a series of Get Your Shit Together. Can I say that? Get your
You already
get your
did.
stuff get your stuff together, uh, you guys, and find your passion in your life. There was a book called The War of Art that he published about 20, 25
Yep.
years ago.
Yep.
It's kind of famous. Anyway, he talks about a concept, and I won't go on and on about it. I'll just put the link in there called resistance. What he calls resistance with a capital R, which is the excuses we make to ourselves or sometimes other people impose on us to keep us from finding our passion, whether it's writing, art, music, whatever it is. And like, yeah, I'm not feeling it today. Well, get on the horse and do it anyway. It's that kind of thing. But he's a very accomplished guy and a very insightful uh, writer. And anyway, that particular episode of the Huberman Lab really kind of, quit looking at quit hitting refresh on reviews every day and just start on the next book. Damn it. Let's go. Chop, chop.
Yep.
So I would like to share that with your folks in case anybody is interested in it. Now, Huberman Lab typically puts out a 2.5 hour episode, and this is about that. So, you kind of have to reserve some time. But Pressfield's wisdom and information and just some things to do to find your passion as a writer or an artist of whatever kind. I found very meaningful for me, and it actually made a difference for me. So when we get to the end, I will put a link in here so it can
Perfect.
kind of be at the bottom for folks. So anyway, I'm sorry I took up so
Perfect.
much time with that, but it was
That's
I think
that
it's very
that
relevant to this group.
absolutely. That's a great recommendation. So yeah, if you can find that link, absolutely drop it in the comments. That would be amazing. All right, folks, final sprint for today, and then after this, we have our weekly Q&A show. So thanks for joining us, and let's get those words. See you in 19 and a half minutes. All right, everybody, that's writing sprint number 3. I hope you got all the words out. Remember, wordsprints.org saves your words for about 24 hours. But don't press your luck. Go highlight those words, copy them, paste them into your word processor. We hope that you're using Dabble. Make sure to go to dabblewriter.com, sign up for a free trial. If you want to kick the tires, give it a spin and see how Dabble does for you. Chris, how's your reconciling of edits coming?
Still in the same chapter I was last time you asked. So that molasses is getting thicker.
Oh, I just finished some edits not long ago for a series that I have coming out with Athon Books soon. And I remember going through those first couple chapters. Oh, this is easy. Oh, I got some misplaced commas. Whoop-de-doo,
Yeah,
And then you hit about chapter 7 and like, ooh.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay. All
because
right.
especially if you write over a long period of time, like I do, you forget the castle had 3 stories instead of 2, and so they're like, why are
Right.
they on the third story? How did they? Now you got, yeah. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
it's
guys,
logistics that gets me every time. So
yeah, you tell me about it. Well, guys, we're going to be kicking off our Q&A show here in just a few minutes. I'm going to grab a drink and stretch my legs just for a second. We'll see you. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel here. Hit the bell, all that kind of stuff, which, primes the algorithm. But if you subscribe to our channel, you know that we have a Q&A show coming up in just a few minutes. And pop over to that video. We're going to take your questions and we're going to share where we are in our 60-day novel challenge and all that good stuff. We hope to see you over there. And I think Doug is taking our sprints for tomorrow, since we're doing sprints 5 days a week during our challenge, not just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll have sprint open at sprint time tomorrow, and we hope to see you there. Chris, thank you for joining me today.
thank you for having me. It was good to see everybody. I hope everybody was happy with their productivity.
See you guys later.